Hello, hello. Oh boy, that is not the right camera. Let's fix that right up. You'd think I'd be better at this by now. You're looking at my my main camera here. Let's just switch you. How about that? That's a lot better. Perfect. Hello, everybody. Welcome to welcome to the stream. As always. Today is not as always. As always, I'm excited for you to be here. Not like always. Today might be a little more painful than some days. Today we are working through some core data stuff. If you don't know core data, it's a lot like Swift data, which is what we're using. Here, I'm going to fix my microphone for a second. Okay, just a second. I'm going to turn it a little bit more toward me. But yeah, it's a lot like Swift data. Which that we've been using. In fact, Swift data is built on top of core data, but the big difference is core data. It's a lot older. I think it's been around since iOS 3, which is cool. But it's just a little bit harder to use. I understand now why Swift data exists, because core data, I mean, it's great, but there's a lot of rough edges that we'll look at. But you know, for now, we're just gonna kind of dive in. Sorry, I'm just kind of getting everything arranged so I don't accidentally dox myself here before I switch over to my screen. But yeah, how's everyone doing? Sound off in chat if you're having a good day. I see we got another follower on Twitch. Really appreciate you guys. I think we're up to 5 Twitch followers, so that's pretty slick. We're also up to 59 YouTube subscribers last I saw, which is awesome. I mean, that makes me so happy. We're all the way, you know, we're staring down 100. I haven't posted a video in a while. To be honest, it's gonna be a while before I post another video, but I'm really enjoying the streaming stuff, and we're just gonna keep doing it. You know, I think I mentioned next week I actually go back to work full time, so we'll see how that changes my streaming and just my time in general to work on this app. But you know, we'll see. I'm also rocking a berry smoothie today, which I'm excited. I just got back from the gym, and this is my gym reward. And it's so good. It's like berry and banana. Excellent. Highly recommend. Anyway, all right, enough faffing about. Let's take a look. Oh, that's not the project. There's the project. Howdy. It's just kind of weird. There, it's good. I like it. So you can see this is already not good. We got 8 issues apparently. So this is kind of what we've been going through. I'll show where we're at. So I've gotten rid of all our Swift data. In fact, I should see if I do a find in project. Is there an import Swift data left? I should make sure I clean these up if there are. There's a few. So I'll make sure I've purged Swift data from the app. And by the way, if you don't remember why we're switching to core data, it's so that we can use shared CloudKit containers easily. In fact, I wouldn't even have to use core data. I could just use shared CloudKit containers directly, I guess, but I think the core data it's a technology we want to use. So anyway, we're gonna do that. So core data, or Swift data, is gone from the project. And so I've just been cleaning up all the errors that caused. Man, there's so many of them. There's so many little errors. I'll tell you some things that are different. So instead of a model context, we now have this manage object context, which seems to work just the same as Swift data in a lot of ways. So that's pretty cool. One of the big differences is that we define all our models not in code, which kind of sucks. We define our models, our entities, in here, like in this random core data format. I didn't even realize there's configurations. Oh, there's parent entities, and so you can totally go deep into this. And I haven't even gotten into like composite types, fetch requests. I guess you can set up all that in here, which is cool. I'm realizing I haven't even touched into this stuff, but that's okay because I don't really need to. It's just our entities. So we have our 4 entities, including the relationships between them all defined. And then this generates some code. So like if we go into, I don't know, person, if it lets us, this is weird, sometimes it doesn't. There it goes. I'm not sure like where this file, like this kind of gets generated, obviously. Person plus core data class dot swift was apparently created by me yesterday. It's automatically generated, should not be ended. So I don't know where these like end up, to be honest. It's actually a good question. I'd love to learn, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. And then we just have this ns manage object. Oops, don't want that breakpoint. And we can like go to a property on that person if we can find where the people are. Like here's where person comes. Ooh, interesting. I'm not sure. Maybe this is a bad example. Then what about an event form? See, we have lots of errors still. We're going to be tracking these down today. Let's see. Here's purchase gift, which is one of our models .people, and interesting. What? I'm having real trouble showing you guys an example of this. I thought this would be for sure like where it defines its so basically I guess I'll stop fapping about. Basically there is a extension where it gets all its properties from, which is a really weird thing to me, but that's what it is. So anyway, so we're just going through and trying to clear errors. Now a lot of these errors are frustrating, but our goal today is to get it to run and say build succeed, and hopefully I didn't break stuff. To be honest, I probably did, but we'll see. that's the goal. So we'll dive in here. It's gonna be hard, to be honest. Without some chat, it's gonna be hard to have some really exciting, chatter, really exciting discussion, because a lot of stuff is like not helpful error messaging. It's like, okay, struct view builder requires that. This is like a nonsense error I've learned. You basically have to just go through and see if there's any like big issues that you've missed, which is definitely frustrating. And sometimes it's like, okay, I'll comment out this, and is that going to fix our error? And I'll just immediately often just like try to run it. No, often it has to do with those contexts, like the context thing, I guess, the context what is this called? The model, the managed object context. So often just getting rid of that will fix the error, but it doesn't really fix the error, right? It just kind of like hides it from the project. But here's maybe an example. I bet this person got gift ideas. So this gift ideas is, I'm not sure why it's not airing out here. This is a NS set, I believe is the type definition on this. That's what it creates the relations. So if you change it to all objects, now all objects is, if I can get some information about you. No, see, this is frustrating too. There's like never documentation and stuff. It's just hard to know like what you're even doing right or wrong. But part of it is, it's probably, oops. Oh, are you gonna try to run something? Hello? For real? But you didn't run. You didn't build. Anyway, we'll give here's like a good example of a thing we need to change. Managed object context. And then it's just gonna change. No, I don't think it is. Well, that was weird that didn't build and then still wanted to run. I would expect that would be a problem. Managed object context. Yeah, we're just going to go through, tackle the easy ones first, obviously. So here's a good example. This has to be all objects. But then even this probably won't work, because then it doesn't, all objects for whatever reason, I can't get it to return. It basically returns an untyped array, which is so flippin' frustrating. So you have to like say as And actually, maybe we want to do it out here. Right? We'll say as a array of, in this case, event. So you have to like force cast it, which stinks. And honestly, there's got to be a better way to do this, but I just don't know what it is. Here's another thing. All properties in core data come through to Swift as optionals, which is just so difficult to work with sometimes. I've done some reading on how to deal with this. I'm sure there's better ways to do this. I'm going to explore, but I just want to get it running for now. So for now, this is what we're going to do. Just coalesce them. Unknown name? Unknown. Unknown. Why can I not spell unknown all of a sudden? This is what streaming does to you, folks. Makes you not able to spell nothing. Did you open a... Yeah, you did. Unknown. Yeah, I can spell. Why was I having such trouble with that? Oh. Ha! That's embarrassing. See, that's why I stream. I'm like a glutton for just public embarrassment. So, yeah, the more you know about me. I can't spell the word unknown, apparently. We got static build expression. Requires that toolbar item to conform to view. What? What are you mad about? This worked just a second ago. So I'm not sure what its problem is. But you know, let's find out. It's still that way if I down here, static build expression. Looks like it's trying to pass in two things. Is that what this is? Placement cancellation. But like this is. Huh. I mean, that looks fine. But is it? I guess is the question. One thing I learned is we can do. Oops! Come on! Don't make a liar out of me. Get out of here. Command A, and then it's Control I believe is the indent. Sometimes just re-indenting helps you see the bug a little faster. Boy, but this one is really weird. It's like really confusing. Because it's probably just a different kind of bug. I'll tell you, like, see, this is weird. So that's an error right there, but I don't think that's the error, because I think this is an error. You have to like create your object and then say like, here, actually I'm gonna do all that. It's name, event, and person. So we'll say gift.name is name, gift.person is person, gift.event is event. And I just realized it's gift.person. Was that the right? No, it was people. Gift.people is, oops, person. Now, was that actually the error? See, that actually was the error. Isn't that weird? It's like really, really weird, I think, and unhelpful, unfortunately. Because then you get stuff like here, same kind of thing. Where's the error in this? Honestly, no clue. Like what? Like what is this? I wonder if it's here, maybe. Although this is going to be nullable. So see, it looks like, it's just not good at identifying sometimes what the actual issue it's having is, which is really difficult to debug anything, obviously. It's like impossible. But you know, we're gonna keep pushing. Is this it though? It says there's 8. But these are like happen in generated code that shouldn't exist anymore. So I don't think that's the issue. No, we're not importing core data anywhere. I don't think we need to, but because I don't think we're actually using anything with core data here. I don't think, at least, yeah. That's not the issue. What's funny is I'll do this and then think, oh, I'm basically done, and I promise you I won't be. Well, you tried to run. Your build, though, is still just this. I'll tell you what's weird is like, oops, this, darn it. This cost here should be nullable. Oh, well, no, this is event.cost, and that's defined as an extension on event. So maybe that's not optional. We wrap that one. Event.color. Are you optional? Oh, are you also defined in... I think you're also defined in an extension somewhere. Maybe? Yeah. I think that's right. If let event purchase gifts. Yeah, that looks like fine. But I mean, obviously something's wrong. I'm gonna just, oops, I'll comment this out instead. And maybe comment this out too. Just to see if we can get it right. It's a debug spring. Hey, Brendan Chatterton, welcome. Thanks for viewing on LinkedIn. We are debugging a SwiftUI app. That's what's going on here. And I know everybody's wanted to debug. That's like everyone's dream, is to debug mobile apps. And so that's what we're doing. If you have any tips, if you're a SwiftUI expert, I would I'd love to hear it. I'd love for you to solve my problem. We're trying to switch to core data from Swift data, because Swift data does not have support for shared CloudKit containers, and it's something that we're going to want for our app. So there's your full description of what's going on. It's probably more than you even bargained for. We're going to put this unhelpful. You can see I've tried to like do some light Googling, but there's just no real good answers. Like this person was like, I had a serious bug in the code. Like that was it. In particular, where you have bindable. I don't think we're using @bindable anywhere. Yeah, we have a bunch of @state. Maybe it's because this event is @state. Maybe it shouldn't be. But then honestly, what are we using this event for? Actually, let me get rid of that for a second. Are we using that somewhere? No errors yet. Oh, well, okay. We are using it in a few places. Let's put that. Yeah, that's why it's @state, because we have lots of... I was doing some Googling around this, like, because it's unclear to me how do core data objects get updated with bindings Swift UI. See, I've also been Googling here, and I'm not sure. You know, we could do binding, but I feel like there's like a, could we say an observed object instead of @state? I don't know. Let's try it. This could be totally wrong, but we're gonna try it. Yeah. All right. That gives us the same kind of issue here. Like, I feel like there's like a missing guide on how are you supposed to actually do this. And maybe there's, I don't know. Maybe there's something more to this. But we're trying to enable editing entries within our core data entity problem is there are double in integer values when trying to bind to edit text fields. Getting that error. Make the local state variable when user taps save. Write that variable to the coordinate object and save the context. Thing is, I don't want to have a save button. I mean, I will if I have to, but I'd really rather not, because that's, I guess, what we could do. Is for all these, you know, I could say state event dot, sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. Private var date, which is a date. I'm sure we can default it to .now, I guess. But we can have an on appear and then just say $sign date, and we don't even need this to unwrapped thing. That would be fine, but then when you edit it, how does it update it in core data? But it feels like we'd have to do something else. We could totally screw around with a binding, like create our own binding. And we'll do a get set, maybe. And for this, return event.date. Yeah? It's gonna be mad because that can be nullable. And set, we'll say date in, or maybe say current date, just to be a little more clear. And then we could say event.date equals current date, and then context.save. But like, do we have to do this though for everything? Because if we had to do this for everything, then it's worth actually, I think, introducing a middle layer, like introducing something else to this, which is maybe like a repository, right, from the Flutter world. But let's see if this compiles even. Could not find event. Okay, that part compiled. At least it didn't immediately throw an error. So that's something. I don't know. That's why this thing is like just so challenging to me. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something I almost never ever do. Because I'm in a separate branch here. I'm actually gonna create a new branch off of a branch. Which again, I'm a trunk-based developer guy. I literally almost never do this, but let's just try experiment. An experiment branch. Part of it is I don't do experiment branches very often because I'm not experimenting very often. We'll do an experiment branch for repository. And if we like it, we'll just merge it into our feature branch and then go from there. I think we're on that now. Yep. So here's my thought. Is there like a collapse all? If I could spell collapse. No, there's not. Great. Because I got a lot of open stuff here. Let's create a new file. Swift file. Oops. I do that every flippin' time, man. Swift file. We'll call it, just to test it, we'll call this the events repository. Repository. Just for fun. And let's make it a class. And I think I was looking into the at environment whole dealio. If you want to put your own thing in environment, it has to be at observable. So let's just start with that now because we know we're going to need it. Do you have to import anything for that? No. All right. Just for fun. Now, how are we going to structure this? Because what I want to be able to do is edit a... So we need to get bindings for all the different fields. And we want it to auto-save. You know what? Real quick, before I go through all this. core data auto save updates. Has anyone else solved this? I'm currently working on a simple core data app for iPad. I'm not so sure I have to explicitly save. I know there is an autosave. However, I feel that I need to explicitly save. So there's no autosave. It just so happens that the core data template Apple has set up includes a save routine when the application is closed, which is more of a failsafe to make sure the user does not lose any data. You should be calling save whenever your user explicitly saves something or when you deem necessary. I would call save after the user's finished filling the form. No, the changes will be made. I've not heard of core data auto-saving. You should call save on your NS-managed object context whenever you want to persist your data. Here's another similar question to yours. Okay, so there's no autosave. Got it. But what do you want it to save? What patterns have people used? Only save data has changes. Let's see. A lot can happen. Look, we're just going to read together. The core data framework tracks changes you make to manage objects in the context. When you insert new objects in the context, update or delete object, changes are not saved until you save the context. A lot can happen when you save a managed object context. When you save a context, core data commits the changes to the parent store. You know what it sounds like? We're just going to totally experiment. This is an experimentation stream. Honestly, I should rename it too. We're just experimenting. See if more people join. Because it almost seems like... Okay, I'm thinking, if you're not familiar with this architecture... oh, come on. Blocklibrary.dev. I've been here before. What do you got for me? Get started. Block concepts, architecture. So if you've never seen this, we'll get to that. But I want to show, there's another, there was. Has this changed recently? This might have changed recently. Because there's a really nifty graphic in here. There it is. So there's a nifty graphic. So, this is kind of the way that I've always defined, or like always structured apps before, with Flutter specifically. So application layer, domain, and data. Data layer is just your APIs and stuff, and local storage and local sensors maybe. Your domain layer like kind of combines them together to create like a nice API for the application. And then you have state management and your UI are kind of separated, and then you can kind of work across. So like your blocks can work with your repositories and vice versa, which is great, right? This is not the only way to structure an app, but this is the way I've always done it. I've always known how to do it. This is kind of the way, because I really like block as a thing. Now here's what's interesting is someone, I assume it's still around, yeah, it's created this thing called Swift Block, which, interesting, is inspired by Flutter Block. I remember seeing this in the README. So it's like a implementation of Flutter Block in Swift. So I saw this and was very interested, of course, because I'm like, this is an interesting thing. But, and it's, it actually looks pretty good. It's kind of what you'd expect from like a Flutter side. Like this looks really simple. This is a qubit. And then in your view, you have a block view, which has your builder, which just you pass in your qubit. And then, you can basically use that qubit in like a UI, incrementing, decrementing. It updates, it like rebuilds when your state changes, very much like you'd expect. This is like a block builder basically. And then the qubit goes in counter qubit. And it says in this case you may use qubit directly from the builder, but you can use it as an environment object. So every child view we'll get the same instance of Qubit, which I think is really cool. For block, it looks, I think, pretty similar. Yeah, people have enum, and then you can like change that enum. It looks like switch on it. This is like the old map event to state syntax from Flutter block, but seems good. And then yeah, you can use that. You can totally do that. It has that block view. Is the block view the only thing? I'm not sure. This example's kind of. So here's where he creates the block. And does he have a counter? Yeah, he has a counter view in here. And then it pulls that environment object. I wonder what's the difference between @environment and @environment object. Oh, and he has a whole block test too for this, which is super cool. This is super cool. Last was updated was 2 years ago, so I don't know if this is like something I'd really depend on necessarily. And I don't even know if it's the right thing to do. I do like splitting up your UI and your state management, but that's not where I'm driving at. Because this works fine for buttons, but like, does this example have a text field in it? No. Problem with the text field, you have these bindings, right? This works great in Flutter because everything's callbacks. So, like, when you update the text in the text field, it's a callback with that text. But SwiftUI, pretty much the only callback are like on buttons. Everything, like a lot of stuff, is these bindings, where it's like a two-way binding situation. And that just, has different paradigms. But basically what I need to do is create a really nice way, and honestly, maybe I'm close actually, because I forgot you can extend existing bindings. Is I want to be able to like switch between, basically I want you that when you edit something, so like if I set a value in that binding, not only should it update itself, but it should, interesting, not only should it update itself, but it should also save in the manage object context. The thing is, I don't know this for sure, but I'm gonna guess that for a reason I can't say @environment manage object context. I don't think I can do this. Oh, because I imagine this can only happen on views. Maybe not. I don't really know all the rules. Extension must not contain, what does it say? Stored properties, non-static property context declared inside an extension cannot have a wrapper, type annotation missing, and pattern. So yeah, this doesn't work. The question is, we have where were the issues at? Yeah, here. We have our context, which is our managed object context. And we can do this manually here. I think this works. But I want to be able to quickly like create this without having to rewrite it every time. And I'm thinking, because, alright, I'm thinking, I'm cooking here, I'm cooking, watch me cook. So you don't need this. Because the other thing is these events. Oh man, extension of that. No, I want like the actual definition. There it is. See, this is so frustrating. Like, how do you know the generated code? How do you find the generated code? Maybe it's in here somewhere. It's probably in here somewhere. I just don't know where it is. I can maybe give it a Google. Where does generated data code live? No, that's how you can check the data. That's not really what I want, though. Generating code. Yeah, that's where it is. Okay. Properties in this file declares an extension. Now, how do we find it? Generate property in that file. Oh, it looks like we can set it to like manually generate. This is super interesting. Did it actually, is this running? Wait, how is this running? It didn't like work. Weird. Maybe it's like an old build or something that it started up. I'm not sure why it would do that, but maybe that's what it did. Sorry, I'm getting deep with you guys. It's clear to me that maybe there's not a good way to do this. Maybe that's why Swift data exists. But we kind of have to make this work. We had to make Swift data work. What I'm thinking is, we have a property. In this case, it's date. We need to turn this into a binding. So what if I had a function that took a property? Like, what if it just did this, basically? Heck, maybe it could even be a macro. Because if it could write this code, isn't that like what macros are for? Maybe. But I don't know how to do that. that's beyond my skill right now in Swift. But for now, how many of these do I have? I have the forms, person form, I have the event form, purchase gift form. You know, I don't actually have a lot of these properties. Maybe I should just do this for now. Stick with my original plan. See if we can get it to compile with the core data stuff built in. Let's just see. That's what we'll do. And then we'll go from there. So like here it's mad. We'll say this is current this is current color. And then we'll get event.color. And event.color is current color. And here, I'm interested like why this isn't failing, because it definitely should. So here we'll say event.icon, and we'll say current icon. Event.icon is that, and I think we only have one more, which is event.name. We'll say event.name, current name. You know what? I created that whole branch for repositories and then did nothing with it. That's a bummer. I'll still revisit this. The problem is, okay, here's one of the things about this, is that everything is very tied right now to the UI. They're very tightly coupled. And that's one of just the whole code smells that I mentioned, like in that video that I made. Yeah, that's what I thought. These are gonna need defaults. I can do that in a second. But everything's so tied, like this manage object context, it's essentially trying to be like a repository. The problem is everything's so tightly coupled. Like I can't just pull that context where I need it. Like I have to do it in the UI here, which I don't love. I'm sure there's something fancier I could do that I'm just not thinking of, but again, for now, we're just gonna get it to compile. We'll say star, give you a comma, and is that all of them? It doesn't feel like all of them. Oh boy, I didn't like this. person form. Oh, this is person form. Same kind of issue. I think probably same kind of issue. Where we have, I'm sure somewhere we have $person.name, like here. Okay. We'll update this here. Person.name. We'll say person.name. And are we close? Oh man, it's building longer. Failed after more time. Oh, need an optional. Duh. Unknown name. Same issue. Oh, I think we're close. No exact. Oh yeah. This is like an older way I tried to do this that I saw somewhere online, and it just straight up I don't think worked. So say all objects as person array, and and I think that make binding. See, I already have a function to make bindings. Maybe that's what we're gonna have to do for a lot of places, but that'd be annoying if we had to do it everywhere. Unknown name. Unknown name. There we go. I don't know why I'm having. Oh boy, here's another fun one. Failed to produce diagnostic for expression. This just generally means your code is screwed up so much that I can't even understand how screwed up it is. Which tends to be my code. Make binding, huh? What do we do here? Is people is a local state. So that should be fine. Oh boy. Excuse me. It's getting late. It's not actually, but it's been a big day. Here's a big thing I just did before. We tried that. Oh wow, we need to do that. You're really gonna fail to produce again? Is it just like an issue with my indenting? Right, is that all it is? It might be all it is. There's navigation. Oops. Something went full screen. Didn't mean to do that. List. That looks fine. Navigation stack. That looks fine. Let's see if I do this real quick. Oops. Yeah, that looks fine. What could it be? Sometimes it's just completely random. And it makes no gosh darn sense. What do you need event for? Is it the same kind of deal? You need event at the end here. Say gifted event is event. Have you just not caught up? Yeah, I could not find event in scope. Yeah, we need an event passed in, but it doesn't have to be like a bindable object. Oh boy. This is so frustrating. So frustrating. That's all it is. Excuse me. Because how are we supposed to ever troubleshoot this? Failed to produce diagnostic expression. And of course it says you can submit a bug report, which it opened in the wrong window. But let me show you guys, like when it does this, it's super not helpful. It's like, hey, you could report a bug to Apple, but I don't know. Or not even to Apple, to like Swift.org people. I'm just not gonna do that. Like, it's like I don't understand enough to know what this issue might be yet, you know. But this is the managed. Looks fine. At this point, I just start commenting things out and see if it fixes it. Like, what is it having an issue with? Okay, that fixes it, but it like doesn't really. Like, what if I get rid of that for each? Is that the issue? No, apparently it wasn't the issue. Right, because it still failed. Unless it was like some weird combination of issues. Which I guess it could be. Is it like this whole button callback thing that it's having trouble with? Now it's building a lot longer. And that wasn't the issue. Huh. There's an issue. That's easy to fix. What do we got? Event doesn't have purchase gifts. Did I just call it gifts now? Okay. Guess I renamed it. Oops. No good. We got the dreaded. You did something wrong, but we're not going to tell you what it is. Don't tell me it's this. So we're just going to take that out. See, if it takes longer to build, I don't know. It feels like it's like you hit the right chord there. Still here. I guess that wasn't it, because it's still an issue. What if I get rid of like this whole people part? How do we... just want to see which one it's linked to. You. This whole section. We don't need people in here. What do we got? Like, if it compiles, then we know the issue's somewhere in there. But it didn't, so we know the issue's not in here. So, what's cool, at least that issue, we can get rid of all this stuff. And then, well, let's try the purchase gifts. Get rid of that and see if that fixes it. Might. Yeah. Well. Or did it just shift the problem down? It just shifted the problem down here. Well, we can get rid of this too. I'm not scared. We can always add that stuff back. Event doesn't have a member cost. So I totally define that in an extension. It's only... Did I like comment something weird here? Or script something weird? Oh, come on. Why are you not scrolling when I do that? That's super weird. I think it's thinking that I'm double tapping, but I'm scrolling. What if I just add that? Are you happy now? Or that particular issue? Maybe. When you get to build succeed, this is feeling good. It's taking a long time this time to build. Long enough that I'm gonna get a sip of smoothie. Nope, still failed somewhere. Different file. Interesting. Once again, who knows what this might have been. I'm gonna try to do. What I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do just more Googling on this air. You know, maybe I didn't. Can I search with Google? What is this gonna do if I do that? Yeah, I don't even know where it searched there. I don't know, maybe I didn't look at it. I mean, I definitely didn't look at everything. Like, let's see. Does Reddit have some info for us? See here, it's mad that it's like regular code. Oh, get out of here, Monday. I accidentally clicked on an ad. Okay. There's all this. Alright, that's too much to read through. Maybe it's just, yeah, maybe that's it. That it's like it's expecting label, button, text, image to conform to table row content. View empty table row content. Very weird, right? Maybe I'll try this one. This one seems even weirder. And that's the thing, it seems like you fix them with completely random stuff, but maybe it's not completely random. Why? Let's see what this guy says. Huh. Okay, in that case it was just a label, only one thing, which I don't have. But see what this comment is? It's sending you in different directions with the error messages. Yeah, it just seems like basically it's like there's a random syntax error, go find it. She's just so lame. Oh, I wonder if this is a person that purchased gifts. That shouldn't be a thing. Oh, I think I found it. Oh, maybe. See, this is fun, right? It's just stare at it long enough and see if you can find it. And then do a strong typecast. And then it's gonna start giving me some real errors. And I'm gonna type unknown again. Incorrectly. And is it gonna work? There's lots of warning issues or gray issues. I don't know what gray issue is. But in my experience, whenever they are, if you just rebuild, they'll go away. It's still building, you guys. It's still going. I'm gonna drink some smoothie and hope that that makes it work. Yeah. It's unable to type check this expression in a reasonable time. Ugh, it sucks. It's just annoying, is what it is. You know what? Person form, you don't need. I wonder if it's this gift ideas section. Let's just get rid of it and just see if that fixes the issue. Because that, you know, we're just destroying this app. Maybe we should just restart with the core data template, honestly. I don't know. I haven't actually seen a core data template. Maybe if this doesn't work, which it won't, but if it doesn't, we're gonna just start a new core data app and see what that looks like. See how it's structured. This will be educational for all of us. Yep, build failed. Reasonable time. All right, we're out of here. We're gonna do a new whole project here. An iOS app. Yep. Use core data. I don't care about tests. Yeah, do CloudKit, sure. And we'll just call it testing core data. all lowercase, like totally ratchet. We'll put this in playing around. Sure. Let's see what it has. So, yep, this looks exactly what I think. They called it persistence. Oh, interesting what they have. Looks like they're putting some data into their container, into their view context. Interesting. And this is just an in-memory. Oh, this is the preview container. Okay. But their actual consistent is a persistent container. And then they're saying container is a persistence container. In memory, if in memory. I see, but we don't really care about that. And then we're loading persistent stores. Automatically merge parent. True. Okay. This is just the preview preview controller, persistence controller. Oh, so that's just like a static way to like get a preview, and it creates just an in-memory one. And okay, that's fine. That makes sense. What do we have? We have an item with a timestamp. Great, and then here is. Let me just show editor only for this. So here we have our view context from our manage ads. This is exactly what we're doing. We have animations, we have sort descriptions, private, okay, fetched items results. This looks simple. You know what we don't have are any bindings at all. So, and oh, here they're literally just force and wrapping stuff. I mean, I guess we could start doing that in our app instead of all these defaults. It just doesn't seem right, you know, to force and wrap stuff like that. Delete items. It just says it is deleting all offsets. Okay. Looks like it's just deleting all, calling view context delete on every item. And we'll save it. And for adding, we just create a new item. Interesting that we're passing the context in the item. Is that something you have to do? That's weird. I've never seen that before. But let's doing that, and then I'll save. So this is like nice, I guess. This is exactly kind of what I have actually. Minus we don't have a preview controller. Here we do. Which I don't really care about the previews. The only difference is we're not passing when we create a new item. We don't pass in the context, so maybe we need to. Can I just open giving me here, like create event form? Here we're creating our event. Do we have to pass in a context here? We can. It's very interesting. I wouldn't have expected that to be that way. Very strange. Oops, where's my other app? There it is. But this doesn't have bindings, which is weird. Again, you'd think that this would be a really simple, not simple, but like common use case, like any SwiftUI, anything. Bindings are just part of it. So, I don't know. Do we just keep doing? This is a fun little distraction. We just keep trying to get it to run. If this is important though, we're gonna be SOL. We're gonna be really like behind on that. So there's that. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck. To be honest, I think we're just gonna end the stream here. We're at an hour, and yeah, maybe not the most fun stream, but I'll tell you, if you're looking for what real development is, I think it's a lot of this stuff. Sometimes you just hit walls, and it sucks. It sucks to hit walls so much. But once we have a good idea on like how to make this work, I think we'll be happy that we went through all this. And if it's way too hard, then I'll just go on a more traditional like Firestore. You know, I was looking at Supabase's iOS docs for let's just do like database, and yeah, here's all our database, and then we'll is that not, I think this would be definitely it. Because extensions, I just want to like, how do we CRUD database? Managing views, working with arrays. Yeah, I get that. How do we CRUD with it? Like, why is that not like right there? Connecting to your database. I don't want to connect. Why is this so hard? This is so weird that it would be so hard. Anyway, we'll try the Swift reference, I guess. Supabase Swift. Anyway, all right. It looks pretty easy. You just use the table, select, and then you can execute against that. That's pretty good. But then also, I was looking at Firebase's data. What was it called? Data Connect. That's what it was called. And do we have? Sorry to blind you with light mode. Do you have a dark mode? You do. Ooh, it's like a blue mode. That's kind of weird. Okay, nor is disabled. Now, the only thing I don't love about this is that it is backed by Cloud SQL, which is kind of expensive, to be like super honest. But if we get started, can we choose Swift? We'll say VS Code. Sure. You create these GraphQL queries of your database, and then you deploy those. Boy, there's a lot of docs here for just... There's not a lot of information, but my understanding is basically you just call these like as almost like cloud functions, basically. Like it's not like a GraphQL database or anything. Oh, it looks like it's in private preview anyway, so I don't know if I'd be able to do this. But honestly, this alone, saying, where was it? Was it here? Saying that it works with... Oh, interesting. One free trial Cloud SQL. So maybe there is like a trial, but I just... Like, I don't know. Why I want to make CloudKit work is that it's free. Like, it costs nothing, and you don't have to sign in. You don't have to do any authentication. That alone, I really don't want to do this, but I think I just need to keep doing research. So I have my task for the weekend. Try to figure this stuff out so that next stream on Tuesday, we'll have some fun. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. Not a long drawn out kind of thing today, but thank you guys so much for watching. As always, really appreciate it. I'm gonna keep just cranking away on this, and hopefully we'll have something better next time. Have some actual stuff to look at. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.